Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the mind of a true literary giant, Fyodor Dostoevsky. We're going to explore his dark, sometimes unsettling, but incredibly profound wisdom, and you'll see just how relevant it is to our world right now. You see, we tend to think of Dostoevsky as just a novelist, right? But he was so much more than that. He was a psychologist, a philosopher, and, honestly, kind of a prophet. Decades before anyone had even heard of totalitarianism, he saw the spiritual storm that was brewing in the modern world, and he described it with a clarity that is still pretty chilling today. He basically diagnosed a spiritual sickness that was infecting the modern soul, a sickness born from all these new ideas about rationalism and materialism. And as we're about to see, his journey into the depths of human existence feels like he could have been writing it yesterday. So where does his diagnosis even begin? Well, it all starts with the most precious and maybe the most terrifying gift we've ever been given: our own freedom. Now, when Dostoevsky talks about freedom, he's not talking about politics or rights. No, he's talking about the very core of what makes us human, that terrifying, absolute ability to choose our own way, even if that way leads straight to our own destruction. And that, he says, is where our deepest anxieties come from. So, let's be super clear. He wasn't talking about political freedom. You know, the freedom from someone telling you what to do. He was digging into something much, much deeper. The internal freedom to literally shape your own soul. And in his eyes, that kind of freedom, well, it isn't really a right. It's a burden. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? The absolute responsibility for every choice we make is often just too much. It's overwhelming. So what do? We desperately look for a way out. We'll grab onto an ideology, follow a leader, or just lose ourselves in simple distractions. Anything to escape it. Now, take that desire to escape freedom and combine it with our modern analytical minds. Well, that's when you get a very unique kind of illness, one that Dostoevsky was obsessed with exploring. He gave this sickness a voice, and an unforgettable one at that, in his book, Notes from Underground. The main character, the underground man, he isn't just some guy in a story. He's a prophecy. He is the modern, alienated person trapped inside his own head. Just look at these symptoms. I mean, come on, doesn't this feel incredibly familiar? Our own intelligence becomes our own worst enemy. We get stuck in analysis paralysis, we overthink our feelings until we don't even know what's real anymore, and sometimes we might even choose to be miserable just to prove to ourselves that we're still in charge, that we still have free will. So, this deep, desperate need to escape the burden of freedom and the sickness of our own minds, it leads humanity toward a truly terrifying proposition. You could almost call it the devil's bargain. Dostoevsky lays this all out in this incredible story inside his novel, The Brothers Karamazov. It's a parable called The Grand Inquisitor, and the setup is wild. Jesus comes back to Earth, and what happens? The church immediately arrests him. The head of the church then explains that humanity was never meant to handle the kind of freedom that Christ offered. And the Inquisitor's argument is chilling because it makes a scary amount of sense. He says he's corrected Christ's work by taking away our unbearable freedom. And in its place, the church gives us security, certainty, and bread. In other words, simple, easy, guaranteed happiness. And this just slams the central question of modern life right down in front of us. It is the ultimate trade-off, isn't it? The painful weight of true freedom versus the comfortable security of just being told what to do and what to believe. So, okay, if freedom is a crushing weight and reason is a sickness, where's the path forward? For Dostoevsky, the way out isn't to go around our problems, it's to go directly through the one thing we spend our entire lives trying to avoid: suffering. Now, his solution isn't some intellectual puzzle you can solve. It's a total spiritual transformation. He believed that suffering is the only thing that can strip away our ego and force us to see reality clearly. It's only from that broken down place, he argued, that we can start to practice real, selfless love and make a genuine choice to have faith. So in the end, real redemption, it isn't found in some perfect political system or a grand theory. It's found in the messy, difficult, moment-by-moment choice to love another person, especially when it's the hardest thing in the world to do. And that's where Dostoevsky's dark wisdom leaves us, with this one last provocative question. What if the very things we're most afraid of, our terrifying freedom, our crippling doubt, our inevitable suffering, what if those things aren't the obstacles to a meaningful life, but are actually the necessary ingredients for becoming fully human?